What happens when the Energizer Bunny becomes a mom? When the woman who climbed mountains and launched a business finds herself buried under diapers and carpool logistics and a deep craving for freedom she can't quite name anymore. Today, I'm talking to Krystle Howald, a physical therapist, co founder of Expecting and Empowered, and a 3 time C section mom, about her own shift into motherhood. From chasing adventure to managing monotony, from people pleasing to setting real standards. Krystle gets honest about what it took to find herself again in the chaos of early motherhood. If you've ever felt like you lost yourself in the mix of being a good mom, this episode is for you. My name is Chrissy Bold. I am a stay-at-home mom to 2 little boys, and this is Mom's Guide to Finding Herself. Today, I get to introduce you to someone who is real and funny and deeply grounded in both science and mom life. Krystle Howald. Krystle's been a physical therapist for over 13 years, treating hundreds of pregnant and postpartum women through her clinic Empower Movement. She's also the co-creator of Expecting and Empowered, an app and resource that helps women move safely and confidently through pregnancy and recovery. But what I love most about Krystle is how she marries her deep professional knowledge with her real life experience. Because she's not just a physical therapist, she is a mom of 3 who had her babies close together and found herself, like so many of us, completely overwhelmed. She's someone who once lived for spontaneity and freedom and had to learn how to redefine those things inside the grind of motherhood. In this episode, we're talking about what it means to let go of the pressure to do it all, how to protect your peace, and why finding your standards, not just your boundaries, can change everything. Let's get into it. Crystal, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to be here. I'm obsessed with your podcast, so I can't wait to spill the deets on my own side hustle, mom life.
This is amazing because I'm also obsessed with you. Your content that you put out is just hilarious. It speaks to me directly. I think your sense of humor is so similar to mine. So this is going to be a fun episode to listen to. So before we talk about your side hustle, your journey, that thing, I want to hear about you personally as a mom. So tell me, what was your life like before you had kids?
Well, I've always been somebody that loves exploring, doing like crazy things. Like, I don't even like heights, but I had a bungee jump. I love climbing mountains. I went to PT school in Denver. So it's just like
Cool.
very dynamic. I can't sit still very well. And my friends used to call me the Energizer Bunny in PT school. So I just like have a lot of gas in the tank to burn. I used to. That's
Sure. Yeah.
no longer true now. But I just do well like with freedom. Like so being able to roam the plains. I am Native American, so it might be the
Okay.
Native American side of me,
Sure.
but just love having that freedom.
Amazing. So, what a contrast to what your life might be like now. So, tell me, what was your journey to motherhood like? You met your husband. How did you meet him?
I met him in the gym. We both went to the University of Iowa, and so he had a Hawkeye shirt on, and I was like, "Oh, were you a Hawkeye?" Wink, wink. He was playing basketball, and I was a personal trainer at the time. That's like the
Oh,
logical thing you do
yep.
before you go to PT school. So I was trying to get people in shape. I wasn't probably in shape myself at that point,
Mm.
but I met him at the gym, and then it took him 8 years to like lock me down. I was ready before that, but that's how long it took.
That's a long
And
time.
then I know, right? I did live like we lived apart when I was in PT school,
Sure.
which was fun. But so then we had 3 kids. Brooke, she's now 8. Avery is right behind her at 7, and then Camden's 6. I got them so close. I'm like a dog in Kentucky getting bred over and over again by choice.
I love that. My kids are really close in age too, mostly because my reasoning was if I don't do this now, I might never do this again.
Yes. I kind of wanted to get through the like front phase. And I come from a family of 6. So
Oh,
Amy, my sister, who also owns Expecting and Empowered with me, and then my brother Andrew, like we just had a ball and we were close in age.
yep.
So I kind of just tried to replicate that and I did a good job doing it.
Amazing. Did you know you always wanted to be a mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
In PT school, like the superlatives in high school we got those in PT school too.
Oh, fun.
And one of mine, I think, was like, would love to get treated by it, just probably mostly for the sense of humor, but I am a good PT too. And then would leave your kid to be babysat with.
Oh,
And
cute.
one of my girlfriends in PT school actually, but she was married, but she ended up having a kid, and I loved playing with Cole when we were there, but I could give him back. Like it was so, and I grew up nannying, um, and I love them, especially when you can give them back.
Oh my gosh, that is adorable. Where are you located?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Okay, so anyone who needs a babysitter in Wisconsin in a pinch, you
Exactly.
can send them to your crazy crew you've got
Send them to
going
the
on.
clinic.
Yes, send them to Krystle, send them to the clinic. That's going to be amazing. I love this for you as a second like sub business. We're going to
Oh
start
my God.
plans for you right
I don't
here.
actually like my patience level is like on the outside it looks like a 10. Like it looks like I'm pretty patient. On the inside it's a 2. So now that I actually have kids, my patient on the outside is probably more like a 5. Like it's not as good as it. So
It's
maybe don't
adjusted
send
down.
them
It's
if you
leveled
want like
out.
the gentle parenting.
I love that. Oh my gosh, yes. Who you think you're going to be versus who you actually are after you have kids can be so different. So you were living this lifestyle where you were full of energy, going and doing all of these wild things, and then all of a sudden you had kids pretty close together back to back. How was that transition for you?
I feel like with the first, it was hard because and I had started a PT clinic before I had Brooke, and that did well. And I still love being in my clinic. I'm not like yesterday, I had a full day of patients, and they just bring me so much joy. I
Oh,
learn so much from my patients. Like, they're like my friends. One time a
yeah.
therapist told me I like needed some friends, and I was like, I have a ton of them. They just pay
You don't,
me like
right.
to
You don't
work on their
understand.
butts and backs and, pelvic floors. It's fine.
Right.
But but then I had Brooke, and that was hard because then I had to create some structure, that freedom
Mm,
that I like once like, okay, I'll go to the gym after work, or I'll
yeah.
do X, Y, and Z after work, or I'll go to a marketing event. That was hard when I had Brooke,
Hmm.
which sounds pathetic, but as a mom, I actually had to write in because I am a reformed people pleaser, I like to
Yeah.
say. I
Yeah.
used to be very people pleasing. Like if somebody asks to get on my schedule, I'm like, of course, I will stay here till 10 p.m. at night to see you. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I? And
Right.
now, actually, that's why I'm not allowed to control my own schedule because I still would
Smart.
do that a little bit. But at that time, I had to like literally write like Brooke into my schedule. Like I'd like
Mm,
write it down. So I
hmm.
knew like, listen, if you move your 4 o'clock end time, you are like not going to see your kid. You are
Yeah.
going to be at the clinic because I love to do both of them.
Right.
So it was hard to adjust that way.
That makes so much sense. And I can see it. I can relate to what you're saying. Like, you have to almost see that visual because you get sucked in. You get sucked
Yeah.
into what you're doing. So that way, it's almost like everything else in the universe doesn't exist. But to have that visual on your calendar,
Yes.
that was such a smart move. So, when did you start to learn in your journey that you needed to stop this people pleasing and work on that side of yourself? Was it really early or was it later on?
It was probably like when I had my third. So then we had
Yeah.
Avery, and I was severely overwhelmed. Like
Yeah.
the like daily tasks, I just like don't like
Yeah.
monotony. So the like feeding them, the diaper
Hmm.
changing, like that to me, I love taking them on adventures, like getting out of the house, going to the park. I'm very good at that, or staying like present. I thought I was like a really good
Yeah.
COVID mom because I
Yeah.
had like a schedule that I like, okay, we have outside time, then it's nap time. And then they went back to school and learned everything that I taught them in like however many months we were at home in like a week. And I was like, okay, I probably should stick to what I'm good at. Um, so then I had Avery, and when Camden was born, that's when like I kind of reached my threshold because
Yeah.
on the outside, was trying to act like I could do everything and I wasn't
Hmm.
annoyed with people, especially probably my husband. And
Yeah.
then I just realized like I can't do everything and be
Hmm.
super mom. And so that's when I actually started learning the people pleasing, which is Camden's 6, but
Yeah.
it probably took me a couple years after him to like really start getting better. I like to call them standards instead of
Yeah.
boundaries. Boundaries is like a negative word and it seems so
Hmm.
diva-ish. And so I like
Well,
to say standards, like my
I love that.
standards
I love that
for
reframe.
for my life because that's like a higher level
Yeah.
word. So I've gotten better at standards. I actually kind of like to be a people pleaser, to be honest. Like I
Sure.
like to make people happy. So I don't think that part will ever fully go away, but at
Yeah.
least I'm like living my design, protecting my peace a little bit
Yeah.
more. And so it's still a work in progress. It will be till I die.
Oh, absolutely. This is the journey that we are on, is always evolving and figuring out who we are, and then eventually you'll be in a different phase of your life where you can go back to working as long as you want and doing all those things. If it's making you happy, you might as well, right? So I see what you were saying about like going on the adventures. You seem like the mom who's like, "Let's go," but then you realize you have to pack the snack bag and the diaper bag and you're like, "Ugh, wait a minute."
Yes, it's not so much packing, it's like the cleaning up. I hate
Okay.
cleaning
Yeah.
up this stuff. So when you guys have talked about like the sensory bins and like, making packets, I was like, I'll be your first customer to buy those suckers because I don't want to have to do all this stuff. And then if I can put it back in a nice little neat container you sent me, I can do that.
That is amazing. I absolutely love that. So you've practiced a lot. You were saying about you're setting your standards. I love that reframe. I think that's really great. But let's talk about anchoring. You mentioned anchoring yourself in presence, and you've mentioned letting go of expectations. So I want to hear about what kinds of expectations you've had for yourself outside of maybe the work expectations that you've had to relax and let go and change.
Yeah, I think with the kids, my trickiest thing is so my husband, I don't know, sometimes people don't like know all of these like words, but he's a Virgo. So Virgos are very meticulous. They're anal retentive. I
Okay.
actually need him because I'm the exact opposite. I
Perfect.
like I shouldn't say that. In work, I'm very meticulous. Like I literally
Hmm.
just know everything. I'm
Hmm.
very anal retentive. But when it comes to like the home life, I have a harder time organizing the family.
Yeah.
I'm good at stuff that I like to be good at. So, like, for example, we just went to the Pacific Northwest. We went to Vancouver Island. It
Oh,
was
fun.
beautiful. I did the whole itinerary and I packed happily because then I could go on an adventure. But
Yes.
it's like the day-to-day stuff. Like, I don't want to like put your dishes in the dishwasher or
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
That makes a lot of sense. So you've had to kind of work with him to figure out this balance of your life of like not just starting something, but wrapping it up, finishing it, and getting all the things done and get through the monotony. So how do you work through those challenges with each other to make it happen?
I think we've gotten a lot better as we've gotten older as parents at communicating.
Yeah.
Like, so we'll have like a little check-in at the beginning of the week. I can always tell the weeks that we don't, like, we're so
Mm.
busy, we skip it. And then this week was one of them. And then we'll like start to be like, you said he works for Aldi Foods. So
Okay.
he had a grand opening of a
Amazing.
new Aldi store, which was beautiful. But then I also had an 8 a.m. patient, and I was like, okay, who is
Yeah.
going to watch these kids for the 20 minutes that we are uncovered, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
we have these little check ins. And
Yeah.
then, too, I think for him, sometimes he's got to come my way a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have to have everything perfect, which just kills him inside. So then, two, I will take charge of like certain things that I know are messy. So, for example, my kids are older now, so they're running around to volleyball and to horse. I
Yeah.
actually grew up and we grew up in athletics, me and Amy.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. I love taking them. I love seeing them. I love spiking a ball at them right before volleyball practice starts, see if
Oh my
they're
gosh.
get them ready to dig, you know? So I don't mind doing that, but I know for his nervous system, it's like easily thrown off. So then
Yeah.
he stays home and he's a great
Yeah.
cook and he
Hmm.
like makes dinner and does those things on the home front. So almost like figuring out what your strengths are, because for a long time too, he's like wanted me to be good at the same things. And I was like,
Yeah.
that doesn't work for us. Like, I'm not good. I'm good at like play when the kids are getting tired and the patience is running out. Like, I can like joke around. My
Yeah.
dad was amazing at that. My dad is
Aw.
so playful.
Yeah.
So I'm not even as good as he is, but he like would he can play and entertain. And so it's like, let's play to our strengths instead of like same team. I saw this one Instagram story one time of a husband and wife getting on a flight and the husband was like knuckling her, like same team
Yes.
before we do this, like
I
same
love
team.
that.
So I like think about them. They're some random person that I have no idea who they are. But
Sure.
sometimes I think same team knuckles.
Yes, that's such a powerful way to start something when you're going together because we know we're on the same team, but to start it that way, to say that we're on the same team like when you're ready to go to something stressful, like it just sets the tone. It reminds you that that's the case and that's the intention of whatever you're doing. So I love that. Now, I'm a big fan of finding little pockets of time to do the things. And I know you are too. So, can you tell me how you have reframed your journey of your own personal life, of finding your own joy, your own pieces, your own passion projects within little pockets of your day?
Yeah, I think when they're little, it is extremely hard.
Yeah.
And then so I think just almost setting like habits, like the Atomic Habits book is a great example of this, but almost setting time. I feel like it's weird because when they're little, you set time, so it's almost like more rigid time, but also, which seems counterintuitive, learning to be a little bit flexible. So what I mean by that is like my kids when they were little, for me, exercise has always been a non-negotiable. I was like, I met you in the gym, you know, you should know
Yeah.
what's up. Like
Yeah.
this, and I think he kind of knows I'm my best self when I move, which
Yeah.
everybody is, to be honest.
Right. I
But
agree.
so
Yeah.
he respects that as well. So I'd be like, okay, when I put Avery down for a nap, do you mind playing with Brooke
Mm,
during that time so I can go outside? And I actually physically, if I'm an outdoor exerciser, I love being
yeah.
outside. Part of it is I can't hear my kids screaming on the inside of
Oh,
the house as
smart.
much. And then I'll put headphones in to like when they were little, I'd put the headphones in so I couldn't really hear them at all. Like, because otherwise, like my mom instinct would be like, oh my God, he's so annoying. What is he doing? All he needs to do is like walk her around or like pat her on the back,
Yeah.
like your mom brain wants to take over. So I would
Yeah.
create these rigid times in my schedule. Like, okay, I'm going to work out every single weekend during nap time. That's like when I'm going to use my reset for the afternoon. I'm going to tell you, as they get bigger, it gets way
Yeah.
easier. Like now I got a 6, 7, and 8-year-old to like find pockets of time. So
Yeah.
it's not as bad as it once was. Like I
Yeah.
have a lot of freedom back. Like once they get over like 5, 6-ish, like where they're more can be independent and then you're not worried about them dying or doing something
Right. Jumping
crazy.
off the counter. Yeah.
Seriously, then I feel like it does get easier to find those
Yeah.
pockets. But when they're little, it is hard. So rigid time and then being flexible. So like if one of
Mm,
them woke up and they're like supposed to be napping, like internally my brain would be like, "Oh
I
my
know.
God, dang it."
Right.
And then I'm like, "Okay, we can figure this out.
Yeah.
I can put them back down."
Yeah.
Or even if I moved for 10 minutes, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I might just have to scrap this today or come back to it later.
That's such a powerful reframe too that I love talking about is like 5 minutes is greater than zero. 10 minutes is
Mhm.
greater than zero. So if that's all you can do, if that's all you can fit in for whatever that thing that you want to work on is, do it. And you're not going to feel bad about the time you put in. You might wish you had more, but that's a different story. So I want to hear about some of the things that you've done now that your kids are getting older and you can fit more you time in. How are you filling that time to make it meaningful for you?
I honestly kind of am like a workaholic. I
Yeah.
love to work. I just love what I do. I'm like so blessed. Like I feel like I come to work every day and it doesn't honestly
Yeah.
feel like a job. And like probably what I do mostly for myself is learning. Like
Mm.
I am constantly learning. I take PT courses like kids like to eat Skittles, like it's crazy. Line them up because I'm taking them as long as they're good. If it's
Sure,
bad,
yeah.
don't. But so I do that. I also like have worked a lot on. I'm really big. When I started PT, it was so mechanical. So everything, like a
Okay.
joint moves in a certain way.
Hmm.
And then there were these woo-woo PTs where I like kind of like would internally roll my eyes. Amy has a good external eye roll. I don't show it on my face, but internal. It's like the patience thing.
Yeah.
Internally,
Yes.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
the heck is this lady doing? But they were like connecting mind and body or could like
Mm.
read people's energy. I am now like the woo woo PT where I just think that we're such complex individuals. Like our
Yeah.
mind and our physical body correlate so well. We hold tension in our physical body. Sometimes that tension stops our mind from like functioning properly. So now I'm like one of those. So I've learned a
Yeah.
lot more about mind, enneagrams, astrology, human design, all of those things, because
Yeah.
then I'll sprinkle them in with patient sessions. So I do that, and I've been trying to be better about. I'm just like a nature lover. I
Yeah.
literally can restore so much in nature. So what my current push is right now is being outside.
Oh, I love
Anywhere I
that.
can get outside, I'm outside.
Yeah. That's so fun. I love your talking about the mind body connection because it's so powerful, especially with pelvic floor PT, because it is so connected. Like when I was my baby was almost 11 pounds, my second baby, and I like could barely walk towards the end. We wonder why. And then afterwards, I was getting
Lot.
my PT, and my adductors were super tight, probably because they were holding my body together for a long time. So she's like, relax it. And I'm like, am I not? Like, yeah, is this not relaxed? And she's like, feel it. Like, oh yeah, okay, that feels like a string, like an actual bone right
Wait,
there.
I 100% would like bet $1,000 it was your right side.
It's my left.
Oh,
Yeah.
I owe you $1,000 now.
You you can I'll send you my address for a check or my Venmo. Fine.
Perfect. Because people that are overworkers, it will typically be like their right side. And then people that lack leisure, like calming down, their left side.
That's
Were you
wild.
in leisure during that time?
Well,
Or were you maternal? Maternal side is that side, the
I
left
had a
side.
1 year old at the same time. So I think this is actually kind of physically driven because I would still carry him on my left. So part of it, I think, is just
Oh,
like the fact that my left side was just like physically holding everything in my life together.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it was more that, but still, like the mind body connection, just to try to like tell my body to fire on or fire off. I don't know. This part, like it just wasn't working. So it takes a lot to it. So you have been doing so much personal development in this time, and it's really reframed your practice. And I'm so excited to talk to you next week in the next episode about how this has impacted your practice, your whole outlook on movement and everything, because it's just amazing. So thank you so much today for being here with us today, Krystle. I really appreciate your time and getting to know you as a mom and a person. You're such a funny and life, like your energy is so great. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much.
So tell us where we can find you.
We're at Expecting and Empowered on everything. So, Expecting and Empowered on Instagram. Give us a follow. We try to share, even if you don't do the challenge and everything. Like, one of the things that I'm so passionate about, I actually never intended on treating vaginas, to be honest. But what happened to me is I took a course in PT school. And that course, every day, I was like, women need to know this so that they can make their own
Yeah.
informed decisions about their body. But if you don't know, you like can't do that. So on Instagram, we're always giving free information. So that's Expecting and Empowered. Tons of resources on there for everything: incontinence, prolapse, round ligament pain, everything, how to sleep during pregnancy. So give us a follow there. And then to expectingangempowered.com is our website if you want to join in the app.
Well, definitely go and check those out because it really is a wealth of information. Whether or not you download the Expecting Empowered app or not, it will change your life with how you look at movement and how you look at your body. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Krystle.
Oh,
If you can relate to Krystle's story, let me know by tagging me on Instagram at Mom Identity Project. Or if her story reminded you of a mom that you know, go ahead and share this episode with a friend. You can help the podcast find other moms just like you by following the show and leaving a quick rating and review. Now, don't go anywhere because in the next episode, Krystle is coming back to talk about what counts as movement. Because if you've ever told yourself it doesn't count unless it's a 45-minute sweaty gym session, you need to hear this. We'll reframe how you think about strength, share why the little moments of movement matter, and talk about healing even years after postpartum. Until then, take a moment for yourself and remember you are an amazing mom just the way you are.